How much? So long. Yeah, let's see. Young.
They were killing people, white singing.
So why is the one? You made a look. How about the year? No, I don't think because the impact. If you know the whole thing, you would like to get seven hours. I didn't have
Thank you very much for that, what an amazing performance. I know that for a lot of us, the national anthem doesn't particularly feel the same they used to feel, especially after the incident of the 20th of October. We all know what happened. We all saw what happened. It meant the anthem and the flag was on that day. I think it's only right that right now we observe a moment of silence for everyone who was killed in the protest throughout the weeks from Lekki to Port Harcourt to Abuja to Ogbomoso, everywhere across the country. I think it's only fair that we observe moments of silence. I know that we can't necessarily hear you, but maybe as a sign of respect for this moment of silence, please no typing. I know the moment you are in the chat box right now. Stop chatting. Observe a moment of silence and let's respect those who we lost in the course of this fight. May the souls of all those lost struggle to fight for a better Nigeria continue to rest in peace. Good day and welcome to everybody who has joined us, whatever platform that you are. You know that we are interacting with technology and then even have with the internet in our country. So please bear with us for whatever technical issues you may observe or you may find as well. Please just understand that we are doing our best to make it as amazing as possible. There's so much we're going to be focusing today. A lot of us are going through so much. I've gone through so much in the last couple of weeks. Most of us are still not sure how to deal with it. And importantly, this conversation has only just started, and I think that's the most important thing. The NSAS might have started as a conversation on social media and it moved on to the street, where a lot of Nigerians overwhelmingly were in support and agreed that this was a worthy cause to fight for. Yes, the street protest might not have continued at this point, but it doesn't mean the conversation has stopped in any we just have moved on to be more strategic now. And that is where a lot of us want answers from. What next is probably the one question I've seen across social media since the incident of the 20th of October. Most people are not sure exactly what's going to be happening now. Is this it? So thanks for end with protest ending. I don't think so. I think this is a conversation that's only just begun, and so much more needs to be done. And I think it's only fair that this conversation probably is the beginning of getting some sort of answer as to what we need to be doing going forward. Hopefully, we leave here today with a semblance of where we should be headed, how we should engage with government, how we should engage with conversation. A lot of people are still talking about seeing the Special Anti-Robbery Squad on the streets across the country. There are so many sightings of them, so it makes you feel like, was this disbandment even true, or was it even honest in the first place? We're still hearing about, clashes still going on in cities like Port Harcourt and Rivers State. Lagos is still not particularly secure as it is. So many people still have many questions and are wondering what's next. And a lot of people are in fear, a lot of people are confused, some people are hopeful. Whatever emotion you're feeling right now, I think it's right. Nobody can really tell you how to feel at this point, and I think it's only right that people are allowed to feel how they want to feel. Special mention, of course, to the city of Ughelli. The entire conversation has been on, at least on social media for 3 going on 4 years now, but all of this was sparked up by what happened in Ughelli on the 3rd of October. I don't know that it got me a lot of, talk about how this sustaining that, sort of picking everybody up to say, okay, maybe this is the final straw. And of course, to a lot of people who, at the beginning of this, stood against what was probably the narrative, let's not go on the street, and say, what, we're going to speak up this time and, woke everybody up to what we are saying today. We are going to be starting off what is going to be hopefully a very healthy part of conversation today by first taking sentences from people who want to share their stories about police brutality in Nigeria. A lot of people are not particularly sure if they want to speak up. Some have encouraged us not to speak up. Some are still not sure what happens if they speak up, but I think the overwhelming sentiment across the country is that this is the time to speak up. And so let's listen and get a feel of what some people who have gone through what a lot of us have gone through. Really. I mean, I have my own fair share of the experience with police and SARS in Nigeria. So let's just look at some of these shared experiences of brutality in Nigeria. Aliás, eu expliquei a báwọn mọ̀ kí ni ṣé kò sí nǹkan tó ṣe ara ẹ̀. Nǹkan sì ni èyí yọ ẹ̀yìn yíyọ nǹkan ti kán àwọn ẹ̀rẹ́ ti kán gbogbo ẹ̀yìn mi dẹ̀ ti kú. Ṣé o lè fẹ́ mo lè fi wù ú. Mo wá fẹ́ báyìí. Ẹni ẹ̀ kú ní ìlú Father is here to that is station àwọn káwọn ìjọba máa béèrè lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀ bá pé ṣé o fẹ́ gbádùn ṣé bẹ́ẹ̀ ni òun tó lè ṣe ọlọ́jà ìbámu wà ní ìjọjọ́ ìlú náà dáwọ́ sí i.
wọ́n ní pé tí ìjọba bá bí léèrè pé ṣé ó fẹ́ ìdájọ́ òdodo àbí fi wọ́n sílẹ̀ ó wá ní kí lóun tó fẹ́ ju pé bọ́ǹsì ṣe ìlú ìlú mi lọ.
So that's one experience so far, and I think the honesty is what should strike everybody with that. When people say that, nothing happens or people are making up stories or that these are far-fetched, I think when you listen to stories like this or, experiences like this, it only drives home what everybody seems to talk about. And this cuts across class. Let's be very clear. There's nobody who is safe or who has been safe from the menace that has been police brutality and Balance Square in particular. We have another video as well to share. Also talking about the experience with police brutality in Nigeria, and let's take a look. Okay, I think we'll be sharing that video much later, but let's get right into the conversation now. And there's so much that needs to be talked about, and I'm sure we all know that. We've all been a part of the conversation, whether online, whether on the street, in the last 2-3 weeks plus. This conversation went global pretty much. And if you're anywhere near a computer or a laptop or a social media app, you heard something from our next speaker. And we want to be talking about where we go. Actually, how did we get here? Let's start with that. How did we get here? I remember sharing my own story about almost killed pretty much by police in 2005, 15 years ago. A lot of people have had experiences along the way for so many years. And about 2017, the campaign sort of went live on Twitter and on social media. Since then, the conversation has been up and on until the 3rd of October when things got pretty heated. And the next speaker is the CEO of family business, which is involved in trading and distribution of general merchandise and raw materials in northern Nigeria. She's also the founder of Citizens Hub, an NGO that seeks to build solutions-driven and dynamic approach to building a financially independent, active, and responsible citizenry. She's been very active on so many causes, from the Bring Back Our Girls campaign and, of course, the NSTARS movement, where she's now most famously seen as the mascot of the movement. So please welcome, join me as a welcome, Aisha.
Wow.
Thank you so much, Ebuka. first of all, I would like to say that in the souls of all our soldiers that we lost in this fight, rest in peace, and may healing come to Nigeria. It is very important for us all to look at the question and ask ourselves, how did we get here? And I'm going to put 6 points forward, or just on the way that we got here. First of all, we got here because of our lack of empathy. We got here because of lack of understanding of our shared humanity and social contract with government. We got here because of our refusal to occupy the office of the citizen. We got here because of our misplaced anger. We got here because of our short-term memory. And we got here because of our refusal to take part in governance. EndSARS is the rallying call, and I see a lot of people today say to us all that it's the fight for EndSARS is the fight for the soul of Nigeria. And it reminded me of all the times that we say that the fight for Chibok Health is the fight for the soul of Nigeria. And let's also look at the issue of a lack of empathy. Dr. Obia's Kwesili would always say something, that we have been a country that has never cared for one another when anything is happening to any one of us, and that different regions have had to fight different fights, and the other regions looked away. We look at the Northeast, we look at the Southeast first. When Biafra happened, the rest of the regions looked away, and we didn't do anything. And because of that, today, all of this happened. How did we get here? When the Niger Delta have been fighting their own issues, the rest of the nation looked the other way, and indeed, nobody bothered. Then the Southwest, it was the turn of the Southwest. The Southeast had done their own, the Southwest had done their own, the Southwest, it was their own. June 12th happened. The what did the rest of the nation did? We didn't think about the fact that this empathy, we all have to feel it for one another. The rest of us looked the other way. Southwest finished their own, then the North Central indeed came up with their own. The farmer-headed crisis and all of that has continued to take that region. So went on, and the rest of us looked away. We came on to Boko Haram. Boko Haram just happened in the northeast, and a lot of people said it was the fringes, and we looked the other way. Today we have bandits happening in the northwest, and what do we do? A lot of us are still saying it's still some people. Because we have brought to a place where we are a nation, where we do not show empathy for one another, and we have allowed all of this to continue to happen. What did we do? We rather will ascribe religions and tribes to different places and forget that we indeed have to have empathy, and we have a shared humanity and a social contract with our government. It didn't matter whether we like anyone. Today, a lot of us are asked at what happened. What happened on 20th of October 2020 that today government is trying to deny? Is it the first time that it happened? No, it's not. In 2014, April 14 to be precise, 276 children were taken away, daughters were taken away from a school in Chibok. What did the rest of us do? Did we all come together to rally and say, no, that must not happen, and go after the perpetrators, and as a nation stand together? We didn't. Some people said that, oh, it didn't matter, and then government said it didn't happen, and a lot of people believe that it didn't happen. Today, we have a repetition of government trying to tell us that what happened at Lekki Toll Gate, the massacre that happened there did not happen. Is it only Break Back Our Girls? Is it only Chibok Girls? No. We watched as she has over the years have been killed. In December 2015, official record over 300 were killed. Unofficial record over 700 were killed. But the rest of us looked the other way because we didn't understand that we have a shared humanity and a social contract with the government. And it didn't matter whether we like each other or not. What matters is our shared humanity, and that's what we respect. And of course, IPOB. Over the years, IPOB have been killed. They were killed by soldiers, they were killed by police. The rest of us looked away. This is how we got there. We got here because of our refusal to occupy our offices of the citizen. I'll say a bit again, Dr. Obia's Kwesili said something. She said the highest office in the land is the office of the citizen, and the highest political office in the land is the office of the president. Most of us have refused to occupy our office of the citizen, and because of that, we have looked the other way when things were happening. We refuse to make demand. We've never had that critical mass, but today we have EndSARS and we are united. And people who will always say to us that in Nigeria that we cannot come together to fight for a cause, now they know better. We did it when we did Break Back Our Girls movement. We did all about the singularity of purpose. And today again we have a singularity of purpose. And that singularity of purpose is EndSARS. Nigerians came together, Nigerians rallied together. Just see what happened when we decided that we were going to occupy our offices of the citizen. When we decided we will no longer only a few people to speak on our behalf. When we decided that every one of us is a citizen, every one of us is equal, we have a come together, what did happen? We got our critical mass, and of course, we had to listen. Then we got here. The first thing I would like us to know is that we got here because of our misplaced anger. We are angry at the people who are our friends, and then we love the people who are really our enemies. The people who stand for us, who against all odds, who against their own personal interest, stand for the people and fight for them. We're always against them. We're always looking for those people who never care about us because we feel as people who are in an abusive relationship that we have to talk and talk to the lines of those who are abusing us. We forget that indeed we are citizens in this country and no Nigerian is more Nigerian than any Nigerian. We got to where we are today because the few people who dare to speak for us, we mock them, we abuse them, we insult them. Then the people who never speak for us are the people that we are loving, the people we are calling to come. And then when they say one thing, they jump all over it. Until we begin to make ourselves matter, I'm sorry, we'll continue to have this. And it is time for us right now to stop all of this. We got to where we are today because of our short-term memories. We forget the people who weren't there for us. We look at them when they say one thing, we jump on it. We do not look at the consistency. And also, I will quote Dr. Odin who says that integrity is not complete until it is consistent. And then most times we do not focus. Most times we do not say. Today you have somebody who yesterday was a psychopath and defended every bit in government. When they speak today, we jump on it. We do not reward good behavior. We rather punish good behavior and we reward bad behavior. Because today they talk and they're no longer in the position to defend government, then they are the ones that we are working after. We have to be consistent in our values and the values we expect from anybody. We have to be consistent in insisting that Nigeria must be a nation where the child of nobody can become somebody without hate anybody. We have to be consistent about the people who truly stand for our nation and not just the few who are concerned about themselves, who do not care about the abuses that we go through and are only focused on themselves. How did we get here? Finally, I would say our refusal to take part in governance is one of the reasons why we got here. I also will quote some quotes of the film. Some of you will say, oh, why are you always quoting her? Because in the last few years, I've seen her as someone who has stood for Nigeria. I call her the single mother of Nigeria. Even against all the abuses that she received, guess what? She stands strong. She marches alone. She pushed us. She pushed Nigerians, and she's always there. And to say that there are two sides of governance, the demand side and the supply side. Sadly for us, most of us, we are more focused on the supply side, and we think we do not take part in the demand side. The reason why we got here today is because of the fact that we have not understood that we need to be at that place where we are constantly making demands. Where those we put into office, we know that they are the public servants. They are there to serve us. They are there to ensure that Nigeria works. When we sit down and we are tasking as individuals who owe us nothing and live and allow the people who we have voted for to applicate their responsibilities is the reason why we are here today. What has happened now, as painful as it is, this is not the first time that it is happening. It has happened before.
I'm not going to moderation. It's so fun.